Hi, I'm Jessica Hester, staff writer at Atlas Obscura, and I am wearing this suit because we are trekking into this amazing tick-infested sunken forest in Fire Island to see how this unusual ecosystem is changing.
The Sunken Forest is one of only 2 old-growth maritime American holly forests in the world. It's a gnarled, dappled patch of woods on a long, skinny barrier island just 60 miles from New York City. The forest is incredible, and it's disappearing, but not for the reasons you might think.
If you pick up the sassafras leaves and you crush it up like this and smell it, yeah, it smells like Fruit Loops.
It really does.
This is Jordan Raphael, the park biologist. He's worked with the National Park Service at Fire Island for around 15 years and probably knows the Sunken Forest better than anyone. We met up at his office across the bay, packed up historic maps and old photos, and headed off. But the island is only accessible by boat.
I like absolutely everything about this boat. When I fantasized about being a park ranger as a kid, this is like exactly the kind of thing that I dreamed that they would do. Just be able to zip around in cool boats. It's a little big.
Dispatch to short view 54.
On the ride over, Jordan explained that the Sunken Forest isn't literally sunken, though it kind of looks that way. The trees, American holly, sassafras, black gum, shadblow, grow behind 2 rows of sand dunes, cradled between the ocean and the bay. Looking out from the elevated boardwalk, it's easy to see how the forest got its name. The dunes almost completely obscure the view of the forest from the ocean. The canopies are pruned by salt air blowing in from the Atlantic so the leaves don't peek out above the sand. And following the path deeper into the forest, you really do feel like you're sinking and secluded.
Dispatch Seashore 410, arrived at Sailor's Haven.
Before we wandered into the woods, we stopped at the visitor center so Jordan could show me archival photos of what the forest looked like decades ago. They were handed down by Hank Art, an environmental scientist who studied the forest beginning in the 60s. By using the pictures as comparison tools, Jordan estimates that about 40% of the sunken forest has already disappeared over the last few decades.
We'll go in, we can pull some of these pictures out to see what it looked like then and what it looks like now. My boss that started here in the mid-90s said when you stood here, you couldn't hardly even see the water.
Wow.
And that was in the mid-90s.
Because there were so many trees?
Because there were so many trees here. This is another area where the boardwalk had to be rediverted because of erosion here. So this used to be a lookout.
Erosion, worsened by docks and marinas, has really reshaped the edges of the forest. Jordan pointed out its old silhouette on an aerial image that the Army Corps of Engineers took back in the 30s. As forest boundaries are washed away, the land is pinched. It keeps getting narrower and narrower. Climate change is a main culprit too, but in some surprising ways. When you think of rising water, maybe you picture waves drowning a shoreline, but in the Sunken Forest, sea level rise is doing something else.
Oh wow, there's so much water down there.
Yeah, so you can see that when we're talking about the water table impacting the trees, it's really close to the surface.
Yeah.
These have always been here, but they don't quite drain like they used to. We'll have water that will be standing here after a rain for quite some time. And even when it doesn't rain, there'll be standing water in here. And that's from the water table, again, just getting pushed up.
Seawater isn't breaching the dunes and sloshing into the woods. Instead, as the land erodes, the whole water table is rising. There have always been slow-draining patches in the woods, but now there's a lot of standing freshwater in places where there wasn't before. And those swampy pools are causing the trees around them to rot and die.
So a lot of these ticks carry different pathogens that could make you sick, one being Lyme disease. So we don't want any of our staff, and especially you, getting Lyme disease.
Shrinking land and rising water are big problems for the forest, but there's another menace that's also causing a lot of trouble. To get a closer look, we had to venture off the boardwalk. The threat is eating the forest to death. And it's pretty cute. It's the deer. Fire Island is full of them. And unfortunately for the Sunken Forest, they've got an appetite for American holly. Some parts of the forest have been fenced off, so deer can't get to them. It's easy to compare those areas to the rest of the woods, where there's an obvious graze line. It's at the deer's mouth level, and below it, the animals have picked almost everything clean.
This is a good example of new growth of a holly that a deer has not been able to get to. So it does have a natural defense once it's able to get established because it's holly and it's got all these thorns. But when it pops out new growth, again, it's impacted by anything that's in the browse line, the deer will nip it off right away.
So is that why these lower branches are empty?
Yep. You can see all the browsing here? Look at all that browsing. See, each part is nipped off. There's some new growth here that hasn't been eaten yet. But pretty much all of it, boom, 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 anything.
The deer eat the soft new leaves, which means that young plants get gobbled up and there's not much fresh growth in the forest. Plants are being nibbled faster than there are new ones to take their place. In the areas where the deer are banished, though, the forest is thicker. It's lush, it's green, it's full of new growth. The forest won't be around forever. Jordan says it's hard to say how long it has. Maybe 25 years, maybe 50, maybe 100, maybe more. Though the island is taking some steps to curb the deer population, they haven't found a way to shore up the bay against erosion or to stop the water table from rising. It's just a matter of time. Climate change will drive people from their homes, reshape cities, and cause blooms of disease. Many of those impacts will be huge and massively visible. But the Sunken Forest is a reminder that some destruction will be subtle, chipping away at beautiful, unsung places before many people even know that they're there to begin with. Today, you can't see the forest from the beach. Eventually, no matter where you stand, there won't be much forest left to see at all.
Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to our channel to check out more awesome videos and hop into the comments to tell us where we should go next.